Hello, Leo. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. This week, Leo, we're unmasking each of you. We're going to see who you really are. We're going to see the mask that you wear, why you hide your true self, how this affects your relationships, a little bit of advice for you, and possible outcome if you follow the advice. So it's going to be all Wild Unknown this week. So we're going to do the Wild Unknown Tarot, and I'm going to start with the Wild Unknown Oracle deck and see who you are, Leo. Well, that was fun, wasn't it, Leo? So that's the first time I've had Larry come up on the table trying to record and print out the cards. So anyways, you had a little bit of Pussycat assistance for Pussycat Nation. Mr. Larry came out. It's been a little bit of time from, anyways, since I did the intro and put out the cards because I couldn't get a picture of the cards. And anyways, he's such a fuzzy butt. So your reading. I'm gonna do the reading part for you now. I feel like I need a second. Where were we? Because there's like so much has happened, I feel like. Shuffled these cards. Larry laying on the table, trying to move, and then trying to coax him off the table. And then I went to go to the bathroom, and then he was gone when I came back, and then I reorganized. Took a picture. Shit. Okay. So Leo, it is actually a really interesting reading. I want to just sort of like, how I would quickly describe it is, I think your mask is so interesting because your mask, you have the raccoon, which to me is kind of like the hermit. It's sitting in the shadows, being, I don't know, it could be like also being like a little bit nervous or shy or, but then you have the world, right? So you have the world, just kind of like hermit, the world, the Two of Swords, and the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, I'm going right to the mask because it's the easiest thing for me to understand here, which is really funny because Gemini this week, I think it was the hardest thing to understand. This is almost like you're coming out of a hermit mode. You're coming out of a period of where you've been like spending a lot of time with your own thoughts and maybe like contemplating your life and things like that, like a very deep reflective time, and maybe even just feeling a little bit pulled back from the world. Like it's getting cold in here now. Actually, it's like coming to an end, like you're closing off that cycle, right? With the world card, like it's a major thing that you were going through, and then you're finalizing it. You've completed it successfully. There's really no more thoughts that you need to, this is what it's saying, that you need to go over in your mind. Okay, so here's the thing. This is the mask. Remember, this is how people are perceiving you. But the Two of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles, it's almost like people perceive you that, you know, Leo's coming out of a period of self-reflection, kind of working on themselves, getting to know themselves better. But they're not really sure what to do or what the plan is. And I find that really interesting because if it's a mask, it makes me, and actually, when I see the other cards on the table, I think you know exactly what you're doing. So I'm not a little bit sure maybe of why the rest of the world doesn't see it. I want to say the rest of the world doesn't see it because you're probably not actuating, is that the word I want to say? Like activating a plan here for whatever that is. Because it's almost like I really don't know what plan to do. I don't know what my first step should be. I don't know what my second or third step should be. That's how people are perceiving you. But it's not you. That's interesting. It's really interesting. So now who you really are, you are the bat. You are the bat. You're the Son of Pentacles, which is the Knight of Pentacles, the Moon, and the Star. And I love it because it's kind of like, because you have the bat and the moon together, someone else had this kind of in a similar spread. And this is like who you really are. It's navigating like some period of darkness here. But you find, maybe you find like some sort of blessing for yourself in this darkness. Blue Jay, so sassy. He's giving me a hard time in Aries reading. Maybe he's going to hit up all the fire signs this week. So I almost like when I feel like I'm like telling your secrets. Your secrets to know. But so navigating a dark period, and what is it? It's like people see this. People kind of understand it. People get it. People do understand that part of you. But the part of you that they're not picking up on is that you found something beautiful in this darkness. You've maybe found some sort of calling for yourself, or you found, you found profound healing. I will say that. You found a beautiful, profound healing in the darkness here. And yeah, I don't know, you might just be sitting in peace, right? Instead of activating some sort of plan that you have, but people are just perceiving it as if, well, Leo's really not found their way yet. They're not sure what to do. Why are you hiding your true self? And I'll say, okay, your true self is, yeah, you found something beautiful in the darkness, but why do you hide your true self? Well, there is like mysteries here. Perhaps even like, well, this spirit card is associated with the throat chakra. So it could be like even like ready to talk about things that you want, that are dreams for you. What? Look, the 9 of Cups. Like, why? It's actually pretty profound. The Black Egg, the 9 of Cups, the Fool, and the 3 of Wands. And the Black Egg to me too is like the secrets. Is the hidden secrets, the depths of ourselves. So I kind of want to say that there's something going on for you that's kind of exciting. You perceive it that it will be exciting. It's linked to something that makes you pretty happy. But you're kind of really not talking about it right now. So it's better to just kind of like stay in the shadows. Maybe be a little bit distant. If you're texting with friends and things like that, you may just give like 1 or 2 word answers. Like you're not... divulging too much. Interesting. How this affects your relationships. That's interesting. I'm getting a secondary message for this that I didn't pick up on at first after I sat here for a second after Larry finally cleared the show. Okay, got the Dolphin and the Magician. And then you have the Ace of Pentacles and the 3 of Swords. So what I'm actually picking up with this is how this affects your relationships. Well, I'll tell you, the relationship with you is really good. It's healed. It's healing your own, like any sort of negative karmas too. It's making you a healer. And maybe this is something part of a calling that you have here with the Star. It's some sort of divine blessing that you discover, in a period of kind of darkness or a lot of self-reflection and needing to kind of move past any fears, follow your intuition when nothing else makes sense, And it's good, but because this Jaguar too is looking like down the table, the Ace of Pentacles and the 3 of Swords, you may have opportunities here. There might be a sense of some people feeling left behind. Some people feeling left behind because of certain achievements, or because you're focusing on physical things that you need to manifest for yourself. Now here's something interesting though, because, well, there is some sort of physical manifestation here with the Ace of Pentacles. But I don't know that it's completely connected with a dream that you have. Like, it's like you're keeping something else quiet. It could even be people feeling like, I feel like something's going on with Leo, but they're not telling me, with the 3 of Swords. But it's kind of like in your benefit is how I would word this. It's in your benefit to sort of do what you're doing. It's good for you. It's good for your own karmic path. I do feel like you're manifesting things that are, other people kind of feeling left behind, kind of conflicted a little bit between, what they think they know or what they understand and what their heart feels. Now, that's the message that was just kind of coming out right now. When I first sat with the cards, I got the message here that you may be healing or moving towards healing some relationships or somehow becoming a healer, because it's interesting, like, get these in the right order, right? Because the dolphin is swimming, like moving. His momentum, his body language is going in this direction. And it's manifesting, like with the Magician and the Ace of Pentacles. So you might even be starting something here that is like healing for others because you've healed yourself. And the advice for you is kind of interesting too. It's kind of like to keep doing what you're doing. I mean, it's kind of like continue to build up any confidence or courage here as well. If you're doing anything like in terms of energy work, meditation, visualization, I feel like it's helping your chakras, keep opening them up. And I went back and I looked in the book while I was waiting for Larry actually to leave the table. And one of the things that I kind of forgotten about this card is it does talk about building up your positive karma, which could be described as dharma. So, because this is like getting rid of the negative and healing it. So I thought that was kind of interesting, right? That how that's being picked up from you in these two unique spots. So it is continue to do what you were doing, because it's really, really good for your path moving forward. It's going to help with your confidence. It's yeah, so when I say that, like, kind of keep doing what you're doing, because it's already reflected here. Like, I can already see the results of that, and you're kind of getting the same guidance, advice. Yeah, kind of keep doing that. And this black egg, so whatever you're doing is working. I'm getting a lot of that this week in these readings. It's kind of like even some of them have been really weird and hard, but the advice and the outcome is like, well, it looks like you're doing the right thing. You know, even if I don't understand what you're doing the right thing, and it's going to have a good outcome. So yours is much more obvious though. Like, it's much easier for me to understand than some have been. But yeah, keep doing this. Now the black egg and the 9 of Cups, again, right? Like, it's almost like you've got some sort of a bigger wish or something that you feel like you will take a leap of faith towards. You'll take a chance here when it seems like the right moment, when something comes towards you and it's just like, I don't know what that is. So I'm going to clarify that, what that 3 of Wands is. But just, keep it under hush if that's kind of something that you're doing right now. The 6 of Pentacles, the 3 of Cups, and the Page of Swords. So because you're being told to kind of work up your confidence, the advice that follows after that, like these 3 tarot cards, to me are feeling like this is what you're preparing for. Like, to work up your confidence, but working up your confidence is sort of like transforming, alchemizing past karmas. So you keep doing that, and it's almost like it's a secondary effect where it opens up your chakras, it aligns them, and you become just naturally more confident. So because this is like bringing balance into relationships. Okay, something here where you can see that you can bring like really good balance into some type of relationship for you. And maybe that's what this is about too. Like, maybe there's a relationship that you would like to heal with someone, because you are on the path like to doing something like that for sure. So keep doing what you're doing is your advice. Now, the outcome is really interesting too. You have the elk, which is like, he's like the father. It's kind of like the King of Pentacles energy to me. Then you have the devil. You have the Mother of Pentacles. And then you have Justice. And it is really interesting because this could even be some sort of karmic energy that you've created, right? But then justice comes out on the other side. So this is the possible result. If you just keep doing what you're doing, you don't need to change much here if this reading is resonating for you. So, because this could literally be, right? Like, we have a mother, and then the elk is noted as the father. There's also like the deer in this, because this is the oracle card, right? This is the oracle card and these are the tarot. So the deer is the mother in this, and they sit side by side in the Oracle book. But it is so much like the King of Pentacles. So this could even be like some sort of a very unhealthy relationship or relationship dynamic that you've had with someone. And you even healing that. Definitely, when I see this Justice come out, this Justice card come out, it feels like it's like an energetic balance that's achieved, and that has a cause and effect on physical balances in your life. Oh, the underlying card. You just had the one, you had the Whale. And then you had the Four of Swords, or the Four of Swords. I think that you've been doing that, healing, right? But the Four of Cups. So, going deep. I mean, this Whale is a really deep diver. But surfacing too, like surfacing for a breath of air. Because I would describe you as having been down in the deep depths and getting ready to surface for a breath of air. And exhale. It's the first thing they do, right? The blowhole. That huge exhale. Just, and with that release is all of that CO2 and other gases that the body was building up through the oxygenation process. And then bringing in fresh air. Like something's been covering your blowhole. That's weird, right? But yeah, I mean, these are both associated with water. And something's been covering your blowhole to exhale and release that, the gases that don't serve you, the karma that doesn't serve you, and inhale fresh. So isn't that interesting to look at your breath like that? Like, with each exhale, what an amazing and awesome thing to do, like in terms of a visualization for healing. Every time I exhale, I am ridding myself of past energetic, chemical, emotional, thoughts, whatever, that have to do with any sort of negative karmas. Each inhale is the purification of fresh dharma. That sounds good, no? There you go. So, what am I curious about here? Well, I'm curious about the star, the Three of Wands. The star is that thing you found in the dark. The Three of Wands is that sort of like this indicator of when it's the right time for you to take some sort of a leap of faith. The star, you found the star in the dark. Oh, it left you shattered and confused. The Tower and the Seven of Cups. Wow. There's some sort of really profound moment there, like who you are. Wow. But somehow this gives you clarity. The Black Egg. Unless you kind of know what it is that you want, but you don't know where it is. You don't know how to find it. The Black Egg is the Three of Cups. Well, that's interesting because that has something to do with your advice. So it could be somebody like you want to talk to or you want to share some idea or a dream with, okay? The Nine of Cups. The Five of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. Oh, it's like a dream. It's a dream to cut out, well, some period of isolation. Well, that sounds about right. You have the raccoon. Like people, I kind of want to say, a lot of times these masks to me are people are perceiving us kind of a step behind where we really are. You know, because where we are intellectually or emotionally may not be what people are picking up in that instant, right? It kind of takes people a while to see the changes in us that we already experienced. So yeah, that makes sense. The Fool, there's your leap of faith. The Father of Swords. And the Chariot. So that's interesting that the Queen of Swords is these two are beside each other. It could be some sort of intellectual pursuit, an intellectual pursuit, or so at least a like-minded individual here, a like-minded individual with yourself and moving in that. The Three of Wands. The Father of Wands. But this is like the thing that you're watching for. So are you watching for a like-minded individual that is like a counterpart to you? It could be like a wand. But it is the Father of Wands. Tell me more about that. Because the Queen of Wands is Aries. The Knight of Wands is Sagittarius. And the King of Wands is you. But maybe you're watching for yourself. The Star, the Mother of Pentacles, the High Priestess, the Four of Cups, and the Lovers. That's complicated. Oh. What is this thing that you found in the dark? Because, right, there's the Star again, but it's the Tower and the Seven of Cups. It almost feels like, oh my God, this is a blessing. But it's just like, no, it doesn't really feel like it, maybe initially, but then it feels like it catastrophically changes your world or your perceptions. And now you're just left like confused. And then here it is this rat energy, like covering up the blowhole. Okay, so maybe you discover something in a period of darkness, right? But a period of darkness is not necessarily the right time to grow and develop a divine choice here. Something on your path that's like divine, you've been divinely guided to. It is kind of correcting some things here. So is it you correcting something, or you're waiting for someone else to correct something? Possibly, I don't know. With that Three of Wands, I'm not saying like you're not doing your work here. I see you doing your work. Maybe you're waiting for someone else to do some kind of work. Maybe, because you have the Dolphin and then the Three of Swords. You got the Dolphin. How this affects your relationships. The Death card and the Knight of Cups. Well, you're going through a rebirth here. A nice rebirth. The Knight of Cups, a beautiful energy, moving very freely with your heart. The Magician. The Daughter of Pentacles. Where did that go? Oh, the Two of Cups and the Ten of Wands. It's like this Magician feels like you're at the beginning plans of something much bigger between you and someone else. You're at the beginnings. It's just the beginning here, right? Well, and you do have the Ace of Pentacles between you and someone very significant. But there's, I would say in the least, there's some sort of weight or some sort of baggage here. The Ace of Pentacles. The Fool, the World, and the Ace of Cups. Okay. This Ace of Pentacles is something here that happens in the physical. Something that happens here in the physical is an indicator to you that something is over. And then that produces like a different kind of ace here. Like a new beginning. That feels like, it's almost as if the right energy for all this emotion that you've been working on, just even feeling good to move forward. The Three of Swords, this is the one that I'm curious about, the Three of Swords. The Hermit, the Four of Swords, and the Son of Pentacles. You know, it actually, I don't know, it feels like so much of this reading is your relationship with yourself. Because I do feel as though, like, there's the Hermit, this the mask you wear. It's healing this, not being recognized as that. Because we're talking about this Three of Swords. So maybe it is like in terms of relationships with others, it is people not recognizing you in a way that they've been comfortable to recognize you, to see that you have a solid plan moving forward. Because people don't see that. So it's interesting. Like, I don't know, you know, what type of relationship dynamic this would specifically be. But yeah, people don't perceive that you've done healing, you have a long-term plan here, you're very stable and predictable. So yeah, people will see this. But I don't know that you're doing it for people to see this. I think that that's how it will happen. Like, I think you're just doing your thing. And people are a step behind recognizing some sort of progress you've made for yourself. The stingray. Wonder what this devil is. The devil and the sun. So it's being confident to face something here. Because on the other, once you face it, on the other side of it is your best times. Your best times, your happiest days. So I'm going to go over here to this devil. Which is the outcome, right? If you follow the advice, facing the devil. It's this thing that makes you feel like you can't move, that you're stuck. It's stabilizing the devil. Okay, the elk, which is the father, could be the King of Pentacles. The Daughter of Cups, so the Page of Cups. The Mother of Pentacles. The Three of Swords and the Five of Wands. These cards getting knocked all over the place. And Justice. Okay. Justice, the Eight of Cups, the Ten of Cups, and the Emperor. Wow. I want to say this is like showing that, it kind of feels like showing that relationships can be stable, that they can be happy. That's what this looks like, that I feel like you're finding like a new part of yourself to show up in life, and like wanting to show that certain commitments can actually lead to happiness. That's really interesting. That certain commitments can be stable and lead to happiness. The Whale. Temperance, just waiting to break the surface and exhale. Holy crap. Temperance and the Knight of Wands. Swords. They're both fast. Swords is faster. That is really like, so this, the rat on the blowhole. The Four of Cups. This rat sitting on the blowhole. The Seven of Wands. It could be a defense mechanism. Well, yeah, you can't open that up until you hit the surface. Oh, you've got to come to the surface to be able to do that. You're waiting. You've gone down so deep. So deep, Leo. This is a very deep reading. Actually, it feels like that. Maybe that's why Larry came in. He's like, there's depth to this. Let me help you with this energy. There you are at the bottom in all your strength and perseverance. I'm going to go do the extended Leo. I'm going to use the same decks in the extended, except I'm going to use a new teeny tiny deck for clarification. So I have a full deck to play with in that. And I'm going to ask, how can you release your full potential? All right. So that'll be interesting. So that's what I have for you, Leo. Thank you so much, Pussycat Nation. Until next time, be gentle with yourselves. Bye.